Hello everyone, welcome to the course of Theoretical Phonetics. Today we have lecture number 13, Alternations of Speech Sounds in English. The sound variations in words, their derivatives and grammatical form words are known as sound alternations. For example, the dark O is spelled alternate with the clear in spelling. Combine like in word combine, so it depends on the stress whether to put at the beginning combine or combine, whether in the stress syllable of the noun alternates with the neutral sound. It is perfectly obvious that sound alternations of this type are caused by assimilation, accommodation and reduction in speech. To approach the matter from the phonological viewpoint, it is important to differentiate phonemic and allophone alternations. Some sound alternations are traced to the phonemic changes in the earlier periods of the language development and are known as historical. Historical alternations mark both vowels and consonants, though the alternating sounds are not affected by the phonemic position or context. The sound changes which occurred in the process of historical development of the language are reflected in present-day English as alternations of phonemes, differentiating words, their derivatives and grammatical forms. The following list of examples presents the types of alternations. Vowel alternations, distinction of irregular verbal form, just like in words mean, meant, meant. In the word mean, we have sound E, meant E, meant E. Sing E, sang A, and sung A. Give E, gave A, given E. Distinction of casual causal verbal forms. Sit E, set E. Rise I, raise A. Fall O, fell A. Distinction of parts of speech in etymological correlated words. Class, classify. Long, length. Nation, national. Consonant alternations. Distinction of irregular verbal forms. Send, d, sent, t. Distinction of parts of speech. Advice, s, which is a noun, and advise, to advise, verb. Speak, k, and speech, ch. Vowel and consonant alternations. Live, I-v, or live, I-eve. Or in a word life, I-f. Bath, a, f. Bathe, a, v. Contextual alternations in English. Alternations are also widely spread on the synchronic level of the present-day English and are known as contextual. In connection with contextual sound alternations, there arises a problem of phonemic identification of alternated sounds. The study of the relationship between phoneme and morphemes is called morphophonemics. The interrelation of phonology and morphology is also known as morphophonology or morphonology, which is actually the phonology of morphemes. Morphonology studies the way in which sounds can alternate in different realizations of one and the same morpheme. We are interested in the sounds in its weak positions. Scholars of different trends are not anonymous in solving the problem. The so-called Moscow Phonological School supports the theory of neutralization of phonemes. The concept of neutralization derives originally from the Prague School of Phonology. Neutralization occurs when two or more closely related sounds, which are in contrast with each other in most positions, are found to be non-contrastive in certain other positions. That means that there are environments where the two sounds do not contrast with each other, even though they normally do. When it happens, the opposition between the two sounds is said to be neutralized. The loss of one or more distinctive features of a phoneme in the weak position is called phonemic neutralization. The Moscow phonologists claim that interchange of sounds manifests close connection between phonetic and morphology. Alternations are observed in one and the same morpheme and actualize the phonemic structure of the morpheme. Thus, phonemic content of the morpheme is constant. It should be noted here that the alternation of morphemes cannot be mistaken for the oppositions of minimal pairs of different stems of words. So let us compare some examples. Postman or postman. Sixpence or sixpence. Thus, one and the same sound may belong to different phonemes. The supporters of the morphological trend define the phonemes as follows. Это функциональная единица, представленная рядом позиционно чередующихся звуков. Панов. The notion of phonetический ряд suggested by Avanesov demonstrates positionally determined realizations of the phoneme. Positionally alternating sounds are grouped into one phoneme whether they are similar or have common features, that is, common allophones, with other phonemes. Russian prepositions, thus noun, may have the following realization. С Колей, you pronounce с Колей, с Тимошей, с Галей, с Димой, с Шурой, с Женей, с Щукарем. So the following effects on the sound. So in the morphological conception, the alternation of the phonemes are not analyzed apart from the morpheme, as form and content make dialectical unity. The phonetic system is not isolated from the grammatical and lexical structure of the language, and the unity between the form and the content cannot be destroyed. Yet, as an answer to the phone problem is not entirely satisfactory, since ordinary speakers are in doubt that the sound which occurs in a word like grip is p, not b, grip. And in English, word speak p is not but p. The perception of the listeners makes us find the morphological conception too discrepant and condefined. The so-called Leningrad-Petersburg school asserts that the phoneme is interdependent of the morpheme. The supporters of this conception claim that the phoneme cannot lose any of its distinctive features. In their line of words, the same root morpheme, grib, gribы, the sound is an allophone of the phoneme p, and the sound b manifests the phoneme b. Consequently, the consonants b and p do not lose any of their distinctive features and represent different phonemes. It seems that, according to this point of view, the unity between the form and the content is destroyed. Thus, phonology is isolated from morphology. According to Trubetskoy, an archiphoneme is defined as a combination of distinctive features common to two phonemes. It consists of the shared features of two or more closely related phonemes, but excludes the feature which distinguishes them. For example, archiphoneme p consists of the features bilabial, plosive, p, but excludes voicing which separates them. One of the disadvantages in extending the notion of an archiphoneme is that the Prague school phonologists limited neutralization to closely related phonemes, and neutralization can be said to occur only if there is uncertainty about the identity of the sound in the position of neutralization. Before two phonemes can be neutralized, they must have common qualities which do not occur in other phonemes. Thus, p can neutralize because they are the only labial plosives in the language. They share these two features, but no other sounds share them. However, and cannot neutralize. So any neutralization of nasals must involve all the three of them. So this is the end of the lecture. Thank you for your attention.